Uh, I love ending Iran's ability to have a nuclear weapon. I think that's existential.
Thank you.
For
that
our
was
future.
not my question. Do you love inflation? Yes or no?
I love ending Iran's.
That is not my question. Do you love inflation? Yes or no?
No, I would.
This was one of the most impressive questioning sessions I have ever seen in Congress. And in my career as a former litigator, Democratic Congresswoman Amelia Sykes questioning Donald Trump's Energy Secretary Chris Wright, using Donald Trump's own words. And she was asking Secretary Wright short, direct questions and confronting him with statements Donald Trump had recently made. So let me show you the full exchange right here as Congresswoman Amelia Sykes said, "So, do you love inflation the way Donald Trump loves inflation? Do you have anything to say about Donald Trump claiming we've taken 100 million barrels of oil from the Iranians? Are you aware of that? Oh, so you're talking casually about war? You think it's funny when the commander-in-chief, like Donald Trump right now, is talking casually about war? This is all a joke to you. I want you to watch this exchange right here. Watch every second of it. And share this with everyone you know, and hit subscribe on our YouTube channel. Let's play it.
Without adequate context, because quite frankly, that is not your expertise. But since you want to talk about people unqualified in meritocracies, let's talk about President Trump. Do you feel like your positions and policy statements are in line with President Trump?
Yes, I hope so.
Do you love inflation?
I love ending Iran's ability to have a nuclear weapon. I think that's existential.
Thank you.
For
that
our
was
future.
not my question. Do you love inflation? Yes or no?
I love ending Iran's.
That is not my question. Do you love inflation? Yes or no?
No, I would prefer lower inflation.
You would prefer low inflation. Do you know that your boss, essentially President Trump, just stated that he loved inflation?
He's an entertaining, hyperbolic guy who's done tremendous leadership, and on balance is driving inflation down.
So it sounds like you were unaware that President Trump just mentioned that he loved inflation, and I certainly don't want to get you in trouble with your boss, but it sounds like you don't love inflation, but he does. But let me ask you this other question. Are you aware that the United States was taking millions of barrels of gasoline from Iran in the Strait of Hormuz?
We are preventing the flow of Iranian oil through the Strait of Hormuz.
That is not the question that I just asked you. Were you aware that the United States has been taking millions of gallons of oil from the Strait of Hormuz?
Just not sure taking is the right word. We're preventing the flow of it.
Well, thank you. Mr. Chair, if I may, can I play some audio from some comments that President Trump made in the Oval Office? Okay.
The numbers look great.
I don't think
we've heard this. I love the inflation. You know why? Because as soon as this war is over, I can say it now. Something you didn't know. Do you know we've been taking out
let's suspend that
barrels
phrase.
of oil? Nobody knows it. You know who doesn't know about it? Iran until right now.
No.
Mr. Secretary, it seems like you didn't know about this either. So why would the United States be taking out millions of barrels of oil from Iran?
Well, it's essential that we prevent oil sales from generating revenue for Iran to spend to develop nuclear weapons and oppress
Mr. Secretary, I understand this might be an uncomfortable line of questioning and you don't want to do it, but you are not answering my question. So I'm going to ask you again, and I'm going to hope that you will answer it honestly. Did you know that the United States was taking millions of gallons of oil from Iran?
I'm unaware.
So do you think that the president is lying based on the audio that you just heard? And I will send it to you in case you say you didn't hear it.
Oh, no, I do not think the president's lying. I think the president's talking casually about our efforts to stop the flow of Iranian oil.
And war is casual? Do you think that it is appropriate to talk casually about war?
I think you talk to all different audiences and you talk in all different styles. But I don't have any serious objection to what he said.
You don't have any serious objection for someone talking about war casually? Do you have that objection? There are 13 service people who are dead. There are hundreds more that are injured, but we should be talking about war casually.
He treats this war deadly serious, and he has worked tirelessly on this war.
Mr. Secretary, you just said that he was speaking casually about this. He
speaks 20 hours a day. He speaks 20 hours a day in different styles for different audiences.
He is the president of the United States of America. He is the commander of chief who is responsible for 13 service members who have died and hundreds more who are injured. So you mean to say to me, testifying in front of this committee in the United States House of Representatives, that it is appropriate for the commander in chief to talk about war casually?
He speaks candidly, openly, and honestly. I think all of America benefits from that.
Well, I appreciate your attempt to protect your boss and to keep your job, but let me be very clear with you. It is not appropriate to talk about war casually. He is clearly keeping you in the dark about what he is doing in Iran. And now you are sitting here in this committee unaware that the president just made an announcement about millions of barrels that they have taken from Iran and stated in that very, very clearly, people don't know, but now we get to know it. But unfortunately, he sent you here and you didn't know it. What is your response to that?
I'm very proud to serve with President Trump. He's been tremendous leadership in a time of great stress right now. I'm proud of what he's doing, proud to be part of the team.
Well, I would not be proud if my boss sent me up Schitt's Creek and left me here in a committee without adequate information and speaking casually about war. That is a horrible place to be. And I'm so sorry that you have to defend that.
And also then you had other Democratic Congress members doing some great questioning as well, like Congressman Sean Casten. Watch his questioning right here, showing that Secretary Wright is just a total liar. Let's play it.
Maybe it successfully escorted an oil tanker through the Strait of Hormuz to ensure oil remains flowing to the global markets. Was that true?
No, that was an error. It was not tweeted by me, but it was by my team that misunderstood something I said, but I take responsibility for it.
What did you say to the team that they misunderstood?
I gave a talk in Colorado about the state of energy and what was going on in the Strait of Hormuz. I said we will restore flows of oil to the Strait of Hormuz using the U.S. Navy if necessary.
Makes this honest mistake. But the reason I bring that up is because yesterday you just said that the Strait of Hormuz traffic was rising very meaningfully. Is that true? And what does meaningfully mean to you?
That is true. We are not talking overly about it, but this is using the U.S. military to increase flows of oil out of the Strait of Hormuz, and things are going well.
I'd like to talk a little bit more detail, though, at least more than the word meaningfully. Like, what would you consider meaningful? Like, are we talking about many ships? Are we talking about one ship? Because the IMF Port Watch seems to indicate that it hasn't actually increased meaningfully.
That would be incorrect. That data would be incorrect.
Okay, so you have you have data that shows that there's been a significant increase in the number of ships going through the Strait of Hormuz that would supply the rest of the world with oil.
That's correct.
And these are not Iranian ships. These are ships that would supply us and our allies with oil.
And then we heard from Democratic Congressman Whiteside's questioning Chris Wright and showing that Chris Wright doesn't know the most basic stuff about energy. He's the energy secretary, and he doesn't even know the most basic facts about solar, about wind. He just spews MAGA talking points. Let's play it.
Hubs in California is expensive electricity to go into them. The proposal was to use renewable electricity on the grid to create
Which is the cheapest form of energy now, technically. Sunshine, daylight sunshine is the cheapest form of energy available to humans, a word that you like using a lot today. And that is an incontrovertible fact, Mr. Secretary. Is it a fact? It is true.
It is not a fact.
The truth is that the cheapest form on a per unit basis right now is daytime solar. Is that not true?
It depends how you do
No,
the math.
it doesn't depend. But it is true.
It is not.
Are the Secretary of
utilization
Energy.
is too low for it. You can't deploy capital and only have 24% utilization.
You are amazingly misleading the American public. The cheapest form of energy right now is daytime solar on a per unit basis.
It all depends how you measure.
No, it does not depend.
Any rational way to measure it, the
move
answer is
on.
no.
Mr. Secretary, let's look at the structural reality of the current conflict in Iran. And I'm really disappointed with your answer because that is not true. And I depend on you.
And then Secretary Wright continued to melt down, and he started cursing. Even the MAGA Republican chair of this committee had to say, "Watch your language there. Watch your language right here in our committee." He was being questioned by Congressman Omo, and he just lost it. Watch him come unglued. Let's play it.
Tranche was whether the grantee was located in a blue state. That is a direct quote. I ask unanimous consent to enter this document into the record.
So ordered.
The court rightfully found that you violated the Constitution. The only meaningful difference between the 7 projects that won in court and the hundreds of others you terminated is that those plaintiffs sued. So Secretary Wright, my question is simple. When will you restore the funding for all the projects that were wrongfully terminated?
So, number one, you even read the document or misinterpreted the document. We did not involve politics in the decision making of our review process. Hands down.
Explain 95%, Secretary.
Did not. You also were creative. You talked about two different 95%. We did not involve politics in the decisions. What
about the outcomes,
the
Mr.
court
Secretary?
ruling you read was a choice of announcements of some of the awards. The choice of the announcements, not made by our department. No decisions were made on politics. I keep hearing that charge. So it's bullshit. We're going to say it a million times.
Mr. Secretary,
it's not true.
I've got a point of parliamentary procedure. Are we permitting language like that from witnesses?
Watch your language, Mr. Secretary, but let's keep this.
Will do, sir.
Please.
Mr. Secretary, here's the problem with your administration. You're willing to huff and puff when it comes to showing up in front of Congress when your audience of one is paying attention. But the fact of the matter is my constituents and the constituents of people across this Congress are struggling because of your decisions. And yet you want to use language like that, act out of hand, behave poorly so you can prove that you have loyalty to the president. That's not how this works. Do your job. Do your job and work to lower costs for the American people. Instead, you want to pick at statistics instead of working for people in every single state, whether it's a blue state or a red state. So my question for you, as my time is rapidly expiring, when will you restore these grants?
We work every day we've gone overboard for New England, for California, for blue states.
That's not an answer. I'm reclaiming my time.
Your assertions
Mr. Secretary,
are
I'm reclaiming my time. That's not an answer. Do you believe?
Then we saw some questioning by Congressman Menendez. And again, Chris Wright just providing blatantly false data and information. Let's play it.
Being untruthful. So I want to make sure today that we're dealing in facts when we have this conversation. Do you remember in 2025 making a statement saying you hear all the time in the news that tornadoes are getting worse and hurricanes are worse and floods and droughts and storms, they're more frequent and larger in magnitude, but that is simply untrue. Did you say that, Mr. Secretary?
I'm sure I did.
Okay, and so it's your argument that hurricanes and floods in this country and across the globe are not getting worse.
That's correct. That's what the data shows.
But study after study has shown that human-caused ocean warming has intensified all 11 Atlantic hurricanes in 2024. Climate change made Hurricane Milton hit as a Category 3 instead of a Category 2. I'm from Houston, Texas, and I can walk you through where we've had 500-year storm after storm after storm in the past 7 years. As the Secretary of Energy, you're telling me today that you don't believe that hurricanes and floods are getting worse in this country.
They just simply aren't. I published that data and stuff written by me. It's in the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change reports. Look at the U.S. hurricane data. We have 125 years of data, no increase in hurricanes, no increase in the average intensity of hurricanes. What you're talking about is these attribution studies, which are just non-scientific. These are things that could happen. Yes,
I want to extend a personal invite to you to come down to Houston, Texas, and to tell the family.
Let me show you just a slightly longer version of another exchange between Congressman Amo and Energy Secretary Chris Wright. Let's play it.
We will make America affordable again. We're going to get your energy prices down by 50%. Secretary Wright, has Donald Trump fulfilled his promise?
He sets ambitious targets, and he is all in on driving in that direction. And the number of structural changes he's made in how we view energy and what we're doing will absolutely over time deliver that goal.
Okay, so the answer is no.
Not yet.
And you know, well, you can waffle all you want, but the American people know the truth. They can feel it in their wallet every time they fill up at the gas pump, every time their energy bills come in the mail. Look, Rhode Islanders, the people I work for, have spent an additional $288 on heating oil and an extra $350 at the gas pump since Trump launched his war of choice with Iran. And I know this might sound strange to someone who has made tens of millions of dollars in oil and gas, but my constituents cannot afford $638.
There you have it. I told you that was some very impressive questioning right there. And I say this as a former litigator who sat next to and watched some of the best litigators question witnesses. That right there was real impressive stuff. I think other members of Congress, senators, should really be watching Congresswoman Sykes's questioning there and learning from it. Short questions, reclaim your time, get answers, try to make it yes or no. Don't let the witness ramble. It was really perfectly handled. And again, that should be taught. what you saw there at the beginning. Hit subscribe.